Hey everyone, I'm Scarfy,
I'm Naka.
And I'm Krüz.
and welcome to Subwuffer Entertainment Treehouse, a determinedly drunk, geeky, cheerful podcast where wolves, we house in a tree and we entertain, bringing you all the latest entertainment news. So that's a lot like a music appreciation class. We talk about what's going on in entertainment and see if people react to them in a different way. What was that song that we were just hearing, Naka?
I believe, let me check, that would be Stadium Rave A from SpongeBob.
Yeah, but of course.
Because all I listen
Everyone
to
likes
is SpongeBob music.
SpongeBob.
Everyone likes SpongeBob, right? Anyway,
But I have something
anyway,
I want
how
to
are you?
announce.
Wait, what were you gonna say?
I have something to announce. Now, because of technology, we can have the chat on the screen.
Oh, I'm very, very happy that we can have the chat on the screen. I do kind of wish it was a little bit bigger, though. Hopefully, I'm not too sure if it'll.
Do we have a global?
It can.
have
It's
it?
gonna
Do we have
cover
it?
your icon if I made it bigger.
Oh, well, you could have just made the image
Wait.
smaller,
I don't
but
see
it's
it.
okay.
Where'd it go?
I can make it smaller, but I can make it bigger.
Make it bigger.
There we go.
Yeah, I
And-
don't think any. Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to see that. You might as well just make the image smaller and make the chat bigger at that point.
Yeah. I feel kind of bad. I just did. I quoted Pepper Coyote's thing in the Steelers jersey, and I just quoted the tweet with L.
What, you mean like
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
Welcome to the dumpster fire, son.
Yeah.
Nice of you
Yeah,
to
but-
join us.
But anyway, I do hope that you make the image smaller and the chat bigger, because I don't
there
really
it
think
is.
anyone can. I don't really think anyone can see it.
Well, I think
Because
could you what is it? Make it. That's not helping. No.
Not that
there we
small.
go. There we go.
There we go.
All right, there it is. Then just
Keep
You
in
can-
mind, this is a trial run.
yeah.
Yes, this is a trial run, guys. Don't be shy. The original show will continue as followed.
This gives me so much. This gives me so much room to play with stuff.
I know, right?
It's like,
Anyway, guys, how are you guys doing tonight?
Other than the crappy NASCAR race, I'm doing good.
How are you, Krüz?
mildly satisfied because Pittsburgh has decided to join us in the dumpster fire. That is the AFC North.
Dumpster fire.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, we have a lot to discuss about. We might as well just get right into it. So, guys, what's going on in the music business, Krüz?
There's some stuff that is very exciting to me personally. This first one is not one of them, but it is cool nonetheless. Is Empire of the Sun, which to me is Australia's answer to Daft Punk. The electronic duo from Down Under. I suck. And any accent that isn't Irish. Anyway, they will be releasing the new album. It's also two-themed, two vines, because it is a jungle theme. Yep. So,
Very funny.
To be fair, it was recorded in Hawaii and LA. So that explains, or at least they say that's why it explains the tropical jungle-themed album cover.
Mm-hmm.
Or I assume what was on the video is the album cover. They're also having a lot of help on this. They're going to have Lindsey Buckingham from Fleetwood Mac,
Fleetwood Mac.
Wendy Melvoin, if I spelled it right or pronounced it right, from Prince's The Revolution, and then Henry Hay and Tim. Fuck this name in particular, Lefebvre Lebev.
Oh,
Lebev. Fuck. All right.
Leif Erikson, there we go.
Yeah, I just call him Tim. Pianist and bass. They're the pianist and bassist of the late David Bowie's Black Star Band, respectively. So the tracks Way to Go and High and Low are currently available, as well as a few remixes for High and Low.
Yeah, before I'm gonna get to high and low in a minute, but before I begin, I notice a lot of people are commenting, oh, we can see what we're typing. I'm like, don't guys.
Then they all
guys,
get trigger happy and all type in like "lol, hi mom."
Yeah, guys, don't
Hi,
worry.
Mom,
We
I'm
are
on
gonna.
TV.
This is just a trial run. We are gonna get a lot better than we used to. That's the saying. Practice makes perfect. So with every show, I feel like we always get better. That being said,
Yes.
High and Low, I think is the most creative of the music videos that I've seen this week. It's very interesting. It's not technically. I don't think Empire of the Sun is an album that I would technically listen to. But with that being said, I do think that there will be, something good and special to offer if anyone is interested in this particular album. What do you think, Naka?
It's pretty much Australian Daft Punk. There's nothing against Daft Punk and Australian Daft Punk. That's really all I'm going to call these guys. There's nothing against it, but it sounds alright.
And I personally, at least, I appreciate some of the stuff that's like, I don't mind electronic music. In fact, I love most dubstep, and not just mainstream stuff, like even underground stuff, but stuff that's actually somewhat creative and new, or at least better sounding than generic pop. But I might listen to some more of this. It sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I've said what I need to say.
Yeah. I'm sorry about the silence. I'm just trying to finish eating.
Trying to eat food.
But anyway,
I'll get to my food
Empire of
later.
Empire of the Sun.
That
Empire of the Sun. I think it's pretty cool, but high and low. But yeah, that's really all I have to say.
Isaac, am I the stupids? No, I am. I'm more stupid than you. I'm on 23 flavors of stupid.
Yay.
All at the same time. All right, next one. This one is really exciting too. Lamb of God have announced that Randy Blythe, who is, I think I mentioned, he's from not far from where I am. He's from Mount Airy, Maryland. So, fellow Marylander represent. They're going to be releasing an EP in December in tribute to a fallen friend of Randy who lost his battle with leukemia, and it's called the Duke in honor of him. It's going to, I think, if I understand right, it will feature another song with clean vocals, which the only one to date of that is Overlord, which was really good. So
yeah, I never listened to Lamb of God. However, I was researching how the friend lost his battle with leukemia. I can't believe that leukemia strikes in ways that you never really think it would strike in, and the fact that it happened with a rock star is very, very interesting. Like, I've never listened to Lamb of God. I heard it has a huge number of fans. Can you give me a little? I was wondering, can you tell me what Lamb of God is? What kind of band they are, Krüz?
I guess the best way to describe it, they're somewhat similar to Five Finger Death Punch, except they're more, I want to say, and when I use the word dirty, I mean like more raw, natural sounding, not processed. So they're dirtier version of Five Finger Death Punch, and they, what is it? Like they it's weird. They play almost like no one else because they play more loosely and less palm muting, but more just wild riffs.
Yeah, I see what. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I think their last album is inspired mostly by Randy's ordeal in Prague when he goes imprisoned charged with manslaughter, which he was later acquitted of because they determined the fan was responsible for himself at the show.
Oops.
Oh,
But yeah,
oops.
so it's like really dark lyrics, like about the history of the prison he was in.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, wow.
It's very, like, I don't want to say it's like it conjures up, or like the sound of them conjures up the image of like trailer park kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like especially one of their songs called Redneck. They're more. I don't
Pick
know.
something together.
They were probably like the first real heavy band people will hear. It's like there's a joke of what was it, the mainstream Metallica fan of types of metalheads. It's like thinks Lamb of God is as heavy as it gets.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Yeah, just not true.
I mean,
but they are
pretty
fucking heavy.
I mean, that's the only reason why I asked, because I know that a lot of people wear Lamb of God t-shirts, and I've never like legitimately heard of their music. I mean, I'm pretty sure I would give it a chance if I like legitimately listened to them. Yeah. With that being said, however, guys, I will be right back in 30 seconds. I just need to get something real quick, and then I'll come right back. So Naka, why don't you discuss what's been going on lately?
In what?
With Lamb of God.
It's me.
Yeah. Well, Lamb of God. This is probably going to be the first album I actually buy. I want to see if my library has some albums, because the closest thing I've gotten to Lamb of God is a band named Goat Whore.
Goat Whore. I've heard of them. I never got enough. I never saw enough of them to actually listen to them, but I just love the name for Goat Whore.
Goat Whore.
I just love referencing that for the name, like not even because of the music. Goat Whore, and what am I thinking of?
Literally, when I first picked up the album from the library, I'm just like, Goat Whore.
Goat Whore. God. Yeah, to clarify, I'm kind of going scatterbrained on about Lamb of God and shit, but like for real, it's like I want to say there was something about their drummer and the way he plays that it's apparently it's a unique time signature to it's like he can move his foot in a way that allows him to play the double bass drums in a unique way. So if you hear like the different things he can do, it's like that he's one of the few drummers that can do I forget what the name of it is, but it's like you'll hear it if you listen to some of Lamb of God's songs, like the weird like it's very intermittent double bass they have.
Yeah.
Sort of like Meshuggah. But yeah, it's very it's kind of like Hell Yeah and Five Finger Death Punch, but it's like more original sounding than that, I guess, because they were around earlier. But yeah, it's like straight up in your face, punch to the face, heavy metal. Good shit.
Kick in the nuts too.
Yeah, that's like I love it's like yeah, that's like
I assume you're talking about Helmet right now, right?
No,
not yet, but
we haven't moved on.
That is there's another band, because Lamb of God's from Virginia. I think Municipal Waste is also from Richmond. Their Twitter header or their bio is like jump in the pit, punch your friend in the face once, or like punch your friend in the face for Municipal Waste.
Wow,
that's great.
Punch your friend in the face.
Yes.
So Krüz.
Yeah. So Helmet.
Shoulder pads.
So this band, this band, I found out about them from one of my favorite GameCube games, Need for Speed Underground 2.
Woo!
And their appropriate choice of song for that one was Crashing Foreign Cars. To me, at least, they're kind of like Drowning Pool / Alice in Chains kind of heavy metal. Not new metal. It's a little bit different, more, and not Linkin Park, definitely, because that shit ain't metal. It's not metal. So there's the new stuff that the world. it doesn't sound as good as Crashing Foreign Cars. It's not as fast or raw sounding. So I'm not
It
really
doesn't have
sure
the
where they're
nostalgia.
going with it. The only song they have is Bad News, which I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't really like it, but I don't want to hate it either. But
I
I
was
will give them
listening-
another chance.
Yeah, I was listening to Helmet, and it was interesting. I did like the Crashing Foreign Cars one. I'm surprised this band really hasn't taken off because you would think they should, but turns out they don't. But with that being said, what do you guys? But with that being said, I do think that's an interesting band. I'm not too sure if I would listen to it religiously, but it's cool. What do you think, Naka?
Well, Need for Speed Underground 2 has finally made an appearance on the show, so that makes me happy. But
Yeah.
this kind of alt/heavy metal kind of crossover thing sounds pretty good.
Yeah, because
Sounds
I
pretty
noticed,
good, huh?
I noticed they played the time or the beat they played to in Crashing Foreign Cars was more something you'd hear in punk rock and like, but to be played in Drop C was kind of like it gave it a new feel. It was heavy metal, but it's like more light on its feet, I guess, for lack of a better description. Anyway, this I think I forgot to say this. So aside from Lamb of God, all this stuff's coming out on October 28th. Lamb of God, the tentative release date for that is December 2nd. And
Happy
up
birthday, my
next is the
sister.
one. Very nice.
It's
Just-
December 2nd.
December 2nd? All right. Christmas. Yeah. Next we have something I'm really excited for, and that is Testament, the Brotherhood of the Snake.
Better Metal Snake.
Yeah. All right. If you need any more proof that thrash is alive and well, this is it. And you're going to get more later. In addition to having albums from 3 out of the big 4, and that has been in order, like Slayer with Repentless in 2015, and then Anthrax and Megadeth with For All Kings and Dystopia, respectively, and Metallica with Hardwired to Self-Destruct
Fuck yeah.
coming later, which I am psyched for. And all the haters can shut the fuck up. All right. And
But anyway,
As I
I was looking at. Oh, go ahead. Are you
As I
still? Are you
said-
still?
just a little bit. As is said, is also October 28th. Sounds really good because I think Testament has decided to embrace the new sound from. I had their 2012 album Dark Roots of Earth, which was like, I was like, this is thrash. I thought this was like Amon Amarth if they went thrash. It's just like Chuck Billy sounds like it has the voice of an angry god, so it's kind of hard to say it's just thrash, but that's where they come from. I'm literally looking forward to this one, and it's just in time for our Halloween episode.
Depends on
I was
the
listening-
God, though.
Right. I was listening to Brotherhood of the Snake, and it was an interesting song. Like it was very, very just wow. Like it to me, it's like amazing how I feel as if Brotherhood of the Snake is basically the pure example of our current presidential debate.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I think it's kind of true.
It's more like not Lamb of God. I mean Megadeth did that with or Lying in State especially. They took a shot at Obama with that. It's
As I took a shot
What was
at
it?
Obama.
So they said, a shiny new agenda, forged from a depraved mind, under cloak is hope and change, blah, blah, blah. But I saw interviews from Chuck Billy, and they said that the inspiration for this album came from a secret society that was a cult, essentially, and their mission was to eliminate all other religions. And that's why you have references to the monarchs and gods, and the scrolls entombed in the Vatican walls. I think, what was I saying? Also,
Weren't those written on subway walls, though?
maybe.
I'm trying to
Or
reference the
bathroom
sound of
stall.
silence.
Right.
Or bathroom stalls. Jesus of Suburbia.
Of course.
Or the spirit of
Right.
radio. Exactly.
And so that they were like, I think there's another band with the leader's name of the cult, ONU, ONU. God, I'm losing my thoughts. I'm becoming more and more stupid.
Dude,
But,
it's okay. We always lose our thoughts. That's just how the creative process goes. But the more you keep doing this, the more you'll have your thoughts in you. So keep going.
Oh, new.
Yeah. So like they haven't released the other songs yet. Right now it's just Brotherhood of the Snake and Stronghold, which has a 360 visualizer, which is just the album art. It's not the lyrics, but Stronghold is really, I think, also accurate of our state today, because it's like there's nothing we can fucking do. It's just up to the people, because like we won't do anything, even though all like, you know, we're fucked. Let's face it, we're fucked.
We're
And-
so
but we're
fucked.
not. Yeah, we're shit out of luck. We're not going to do anything, except some
We're
people
hardwired
might
to
move
self-destruct.
to Canada or something. It's like, oh, I'm going to move to Canada. Yeah. Like that really helps. Yeah, but so it's like, I think the other song they had about the weed business, which was something I sort of referenced earlier, and then Pale King, which was another reference to the secret society of, they believed it was an alien, and
Cue aliens meme.
Yeah, he beat me to it. It's like the brainwashing of humanity to be essentially slaves to mining gold.
Buy gold.
By God.
But anyway, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you're excited. I'm pretty sure you're excited for Testament. I'm not too sure if I should listen to their music. I mean, like, I'm kind of wondering which metal band should I start with first that I would actually really enjoy. You know, that is not so damaging to my calm spirit. Not to insult Krüz at all, because
I mean,
he's pretty much the Jim Carrey of this podcast. But
I mean,
Alrighty.
you can't say there's metal that really isn't damaging, especially because, you know, if Metallica Damage Incorporated, you know, that's the whole name of the fucking song, which we will get to that later. But in the meantime, we have stuff coming up for video games that looks pretty dope, and I will let Nakainu take it away.
All right. First of
All right.
all,
Let's go.
I'm Batman.
Go.
Well, Batman the Telltale series, episode 3. It's the third episode from the Batman series of Telltale, who loves making episodic games and just reuse the formulas with different IPs. 2 more episodes are planned to be released at a future time. I don't recommend jumping in at episode 3. You're better off buying episode 1 in the season pass just so you can play the game, not just jump in 2 feet first, have no idea what the fuck is going on, and none of your choices
Like I
are made.
usually do.
yeah, I was looking at this and I totally understand.
I'm not even
I totally
done.
understand what you mean. Okay. Keep going. I'm sorry.
I say that for all Telltale games. I am excited for The Walking Dead Season 3, though. Y'all can pick this up on the 25th for PC, iOS, and Android, and both current supported PlayStation and Xbox consoles, so...
I'm not even done. Okay. All right,
about
never mind. In all seriousness, though, my apologies. I was looking at Batman the Telltale series, and I've never... Like, I kind of wonder, like, are they taking the original voice actors from the cartoon and, like, putting it in the, you know, in this particular game, or are they using, like, a fresh set of voice actors?
That I'm not sure about, because I haven't really paid attention. I don't really pay attention to Telltale games.
If the chat knows, I would appreciate it if the chat could answer that for us.
Yes.
But that being said, you know, I was looking at this particular game, and like, it would make a lot more sense to. I think Shudder just told me that either yep, it is the original voice actors from the cartoon, or he said yep that I was able to get this. Oh, never mind. I'm not too sure, but he'll enlighten me when it comes to that. We'll just keep it between us. But the Telltale series, I'm not too sure if I would ever buy it on PS4 to play it. Wait. Oh yeah,
It's on PS4.
Okay. So if it was like a really interesting game, yeah, I'd bought it. But what's to say it's not? But what's to say? How is it better than, say, I don't know, the Game of Thrones Telltale series
Or Minecraft Telltale.
That's a thing.
Yeah, Minecraft Story Mode. It's a Telltale Games game.
Is
Wow.
that's them? Oh, no wonder with the episode, what do you call it? Titles,
Hey, Zero.
subtitles. Krusty Krab pizza? Is
Cody-
pizza absolutely?
Oh, Cody said it was a fresh set of voices. I was just about to do the line
search.
where he says the Krusty Krab pizza is like the most funniest line, but I don't want to sing it because it's not like a very appropriate place to sing it. But
The Krusty Krab comes
If there
from
is
your
one
body
place to sing it,
here.
it is here.
I
Nothing
know,
is
but
inappropriate here. I mean,
I don't want to.
With an asterisk, of course.
I would sing it, but I hey guys, if you want me to sing it, I'll sing it next episode where I'm in a better place. Because right
Press
now,
1.
I don't think it's not a good time for me. But with that being said, Batman the Telltale series, Cody said that it has a fresh set of voices. Okay, I understand. But anyway, Cody, god damn.
I literally just slammed my head into my wheel.
Anyway.
As soon as I saw what Cody typed, I'm just like, god damn it, fuck.
What do you-
I believe your corn feels.
Anyway,
It's a
Krüz,
new album.
What do you think?
New corn album is dope. I just had to interject. It's pretty fucking good.
What do you think of
But
Batman?
anyway, yes. What? I'm wondering, where is this in? Because they did mention Arkham. Where is this in the original game series? Because I have
no fucking
Arkham
clue.
Knight. I know
This
they
is a spin-off title.
spin-off. But I hope that they get to do the same, down in the street combat, but from a VR perspective. 'Cause that would be cool to, have to turn around
Well, that's
and just
Batman
like,
Arkham VR.
Oh, that's a different.
Yeah. It's just
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
completely
clothesline
fucking
some
different
people. Scarsh is gonna woo in the next episode.
game. Well, it is the Halloween
There we go.
episode.
Spooks.
No. Hold on, I'm trying to look for that one. Quote from SpongeBob that I don't think Naka will get, but I don't. Okay.
Just
I think
say
I
it.
have the quote. Okay. I'll take a double triple bossy deluxe on a raft, 4x4 animal style, extra shingles with the shinny and a squeeze, light axle grease, make it cry, burn it and let it swim.
We serve food here, sir.
I knew he would get that.
I've seen every
Yes.
single episode from season 1 through 4 at least 3 times.
Is that fucking sea bass? Burn it and make it cry.
It's Bubble Bass, not Sea
think
Bass.
Bubble
Sea
Bass.
Bubble bass. He's like, still no pickles.
All right, but anyway,
Can we move on?
yes, we can.
Alright,
Still
we're
no
moving on to
pickles.
Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, aka the new Dragon Ball game. I got my hands on this game at PAX, and holy hell am I glad it did. From what I've seen, it's near identical to the first Xenoverse title, with an updated roster, new moves, new stages, and updated controls. Want to fight Nappa as Vegeta? Gohan while you're Krillin? Yamcha while you're anyone else? No? Just me? Only I have a bloodlust against Yamcha because he sucks? Any cheese, it's out for the 25th on the PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
What do you mean, Virginia?
Virginia.
Oh yeah,
You
I
are
believe that's
tied to a
Dragon's
trap.
Ball PP.
But anyway, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, like I've never played Dragon Ball. I used to watch the show when I was like really bored, but nowadays it's just kind of nah.
Just watch
You know,
DBZ Abridged.
Yeah, DBZ abridged, Yu-Gi-Oh abridged, Pokemon abridged. Those are better than the show themselves. But hey, it's consistent, I guess.
Yeah. I have watched the show too when I was bored, and even one cheesy live action version of it. I cannot remember the exact title, but I want to say it did have Jackie Chan in it. I think it did, but it would be expected. But anyways, I kind of think it's interesting. I would say it's original, but it says Xenoverse 2, so I guess it's not. But the aspect that you have to go back in time and save people's futures and all that, and then it's like, but where they may turn against you. I'm like, okay, so what the fuck? So you have to go team up with them and watch your back, and then kick their ass later.
You're just restating one of the arcs.
I see what you mean.
You're just restating one of the arcs from Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, really?
You have to team up with them and then kick their ass.
Well, you're sort of.
It's like, Jackie Chan's like, we can kill each other when it's over.
Cody?
Oh, by the way, just as long as, well, in my opinion, if your faith is placed in the Dragon Ball anime series, I have no problem. But if your faith is placed in Dragon Ball Evolution, the movie, I think you need to rethink life.
Yeah.
Because the live action movie,
I
where
wasted
his name is
$30 and a
that
goddamn
the name
hour and a
of-
half of my life. On that fucking movie.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we don't want to see Ukog, we want to see Goku. And then people are like, Ukog? And I'm like, well, yeah, the movie's not really about Goku per se, mostly about his twin brother Ukog.
Yeah. It wasn't about like Goku, and they didn't even do any Super Saiyan shit. They just fought a dragon at the end. That's all I can remember, or something like that.
No, he just turned into a giant monkey.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Which I don't think he ever did. In Dragon Ball Z, at least. That was Vegeta.
Yeah, a giant evil space monkey.
If you're not going to be accurate to the show, just make sure that you're like way the fuck out there, so that people at least know that you have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
And not that you're trying to imitate it.
That
is preferable.
Anyway.
Alright, we're moving on to Just Dance 2017. Why do I have to talk about this? Why do we have to talk about this? It's just basically, there's nothing new except for new songs and dance moves. It's the same old shtick from the previous 7 or 8 Just Dance titles. Ubisoft, can you please make some games that don't make you look like an idiot? I remember playing this in middle school and I had to play one of 3 songs and all of them were shit. I don't like middle school, and I don't like these games. You could pick it up if you want to for Steam, PS3, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox 360, and the Wii U on the 25th. Apparently, there's going to be a version. Apparently, there's going to be a version released in 2017, but we'll get to that soon.
Anyway, you know what? Oh, by the way, I have a trivia question for you guys. Did you know what song they decided to put for a Just Dance game? And it was on an E3 press conference.
No.
I don't even.
I'll give you. Well,
There's
I'll
just
give
so
you
many
a.
bad songs to guess from.
Well, I'll give you a hint. It has a fox in it.
Oh my! Of course they put that in there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna mention the song of the title because that's Cody's job. But yeah,
It's gonna explode.
I almost gave myself
E3
a
was
black
like,
eye.
yeah, like I believe the fandom, in my opinion, were like completely like out of it when that happened. But
Yeah.
you know,
There's always something that comes on, and apparently now it's the wolf. I think it's a wolf mascot for the new FIFA.
World Cup.
Yeah.
Oh
2018.
my gosh.
I mean, I'm like, this is like, my God. It's like, and I think that it's kind of hard to blame people. Like, even though I'm not one of the people who's, finds these characters attractive, I think they're cool. But like when you oversell a wink like that in one of the ads I saw, it's like, with his tongue sticking out too. It's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of hard not to have that be,
Well,
interpreted
yeah,
sexually. It's kind of
right. Yeah, like I remember retweeting a specific tweet saying, "Careful, fandom. We don't want what ended up happened with the dog to end up with what happened with Tony the Tiger."
Yes, please, no.
But I will say this though. I really, really do hope that I all I can say is that I hope that the dog is a lot more cute and playful and can give hugs, maybe, possibly, not too sure, but
Yes.
yeah. Thank you, Nero. Thank you for changing it to The Office. Just thank you.
No, God, please, no. Can we move on from this crappy game?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, because I played this game a little bit. The song choice was pretty bad, except they had like a Gorillaz song on there, which was okay, but that's about it. And then because we had the Wii and I was like, the thing where it told you to hold still, and I would hold it still, and then it would give me an X, like I did it wrong. I'm like, the fuck? How did I stand still wrong? It's bullshit.
But anyway.
We're moving on to World of Final Fantasy. Hey kids, you want to play a Final Fantasy game that's like Kingdom Hearts and is made by the same people? Yeah, well, World of Final Fantasy is the game for you! It's the Final Fantasy formula set in a spin-off land filled with Final Fantasy characters to beat Final Fantasy enemies that, in a storyline that requires a recollection of memories, so the amnesia trope means Final Fantasy. Looks alright in my opinion. I like Final Fantasy. Can't play the goddamn games because they're like 300 fucking hours long. You can pick it up for your PS4 reviewed on the 25th.
Okay, well, to be fair, there are Final Fantasy games that are not 300 hours long. You just have to find the right ones.
Exactly.
You have to
Final
play through
Fantasy
it, you have to
VII
play through it and find out that it was not, in fact, 300 hours.
Well,
Final Fantasy VII, when you get down to it, is not a very long game. I was able to beat it in less than a week. That's not necessarily long. Well, whatever it is to you. Like, I actually have a in-hour count that I posted as a Vine to see how long it took me to beat the game. But other than that, looking at World of Final Fantasy, in all honesty, it's a very interesting take. I like the idea of, actual characters turning into chibis and then they turn back to their normal selves. I don't understand why that would be a thing when I think it literally accomplishes nothing, but who am I to judge? I haven't understood why, and maybe this would be the game for you. All I can say is that I'm looking much more forward to Final Fantasy VII Remake than I am this game, but I might give it a shot. You never know. What do you think, Krüz?
I think there's at least a comical aspect to some of the chibi transformation thing, because I don't remember exactly what happened, but one of the characters almost got hit by something, and someone told them to duck, and they just turned into chibi, and they're like, holy shit, they barely dodged it or something. But I think it's just supposed to be for a comical aspect, if nothing else. If they give a legitimate reason why, I don't think anyone's going to pay attention to it. But as my sister's been really into Kingdom Hearts, and I'm sensing a very Kingdom Hearts. I missed a word there. A large amount of Kingdom Hearts influence, because I cannot say any other words in this game.
I do wish you.
There's more of the what do you call it? Juxtaposition of cute characters and then badass characters like the evil what's his face.
Yeah, I totally see what
Master Hand.
Yeah, but other than that, I am kind of excited. I was surprised that it didn't use the actual Final Fantasy theme, and it's actually using new orchestration, which okay, that's pretty cool that it's using different orchestration. Yeah, but anyway, I do hope that Krüz does give Kingdom Hearts a try, even though he doesn't have a PS4 right now, but he could totally use one.
Yeah, I need an Xbox. I need a PS4. I need an Xbox One S. I need a Nintendo NX. This is why we can't have nice things.
Alright, we're gonna move on to Mecha Assault 4. I mean Titanfall 2.
Okay, you can do that.
Well, Titanfall got a sequel. What was a Microsoft exclusive was later ported to PC and now gets a PS4 release. With a fusion of Call of Duty and Assault, the game looks like a good sequel to the first. You can thank Respawn, whose people came from Call of Duty studios like Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer, and Treyarch, for the good fusion of two good games. I'm not sure if Call of Duty stole the free-running mechanic from Titanfall or if it's the other way around, but I'm off topic. I'm pretty sure that this will have a small story mode and a huge multiplayer focus, and I'm okay with that. It comes out on the 28th for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. What do you guys think?
All I have to say is very nice. I actually like the relationship between the human and PT. I do hope that it would. I do hope that there was more to it, and I hope that there's a story that's not just about shooting things to get to another destination. Unlike Uncharted, and I highly recommend you play Uncharted. It's a fantastic game.
Is a good game.
Yeah. I can't wait to own Uncharted 4. I'm very excited to own that game, and I really want to know if it'll make me cry than it will make me, smile and laugh. But with that being said, Titanfall looks like a pretty good action-packed, shooting game. But what do you think, Krüz?
I didn't follow much of Titanfall 1, even though I did know and I saw that it was extremely successful. I like the look of this, that it's like, not only, I thought it was originally you're just controlling the Titan, but now the Titan is like sentient and that you can fight along with it. And then I think mid-battle, assume jump inside it and then fight with it. I think that's really cool, Pacific Rim type thing. And,
to be honest, I like it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I might get this because I do kind of want to get Battlefield 1, but I think I need a new action kind of game to get into.
Yeah, like Red Dead Redemption 2, which was just announced as much as the NX was.
Nice.
Well, okay, whatever you want to say. I've never played the Red Dead Redemption games, so
you should.
If anyone wants to enlighten me, please let me know. But anyway, Titanfall 2 kind of reminds me of Xenoblade Chronicles X, where your human is in the actual fighting mech. But I won't go into that because I'm pretty sure there's a reason why that is. But other than that, I am kind of interested to look at Titanfall 2. I'm not too sure if I want to look at it. I'm not too sure if I want to get it, but it looks interesting enough for me. That's all I have to say.
All right. Anybody else have any words or?
Yeah. I just want to say the trailers caught me. Just the trailer was really epic. So I don't want to just be like, okay, I'll buy it now. But I'm hoping that it will just give me that same feeling that Doom did with the holy shit, this is fucking awesome. I get to kick ass. I love it.
Bubblegum.
Kill them all. All right.
All right.
All right, we're going to move over to Elder Scrolls V, the Skyrim Special Edition. If you're on PC,
okay,
you've bought this game before. If you're on PS4 and Xbox One, you haven't bought this game before. This is the re-release and remastered version of 2011 Skyrim, one of the best games of 2011, hands down. While you get updated graphics and DLC, this game gets mod support on consoles. Hell yeah! I'm not too sure what mods will be available on the console versions, but most PC mods should work, don't quote me on that, with the new version, as it's essentially an E&B or a graphics mod for the game. Too bad it's not released on its original release date, but you can get your adventure on before Halloween on the 28th for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. It also seems there will be a 2017 release, but we don't know what.
Yeah. So is this is this just an update essentially, or a big update?
Well, no. I was actually looking at the trailer, and it's basically the graphics are a lot more improved and a lot more realistic, and the colors are a lot more well done than it used to be in 2011.
I saw they did that, yeah.
I will have to say, I'm really surprised that it's only been 5 years and people can't shut the heck up about this game.
Yeah,
it's usually one of the best games of all time.
Don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure Elder Scrolls V is a very, very well done game, but at the same time, I'm looking. Right. I mean, with you know it. With that being said, it's a very interesting concept with Skyrim. I've never played Skyrim. I know I'm a horrible human being, and I totally should. I just don't have the time that I used to do anymore since I've been working in school, and I've been trying to get things done on my end. However, with that being said, I do think that anyone who's in Elder Scrolls V, anyone who is a Skyrim fan should be hella excited for the graphical update that it's getting, in my opinion. But anyway, what do you think, Krüz?
Yeah, I have the exact same, I guess, excuse as you with the, I feel like I haven't gotten it because I felt like I was already too far behind on it, and I'm like, yeah, if I join now, I'm like, it's gonna be, I'm just enjoying it for the memes, took an arrow to the knee because it's funny, but the music, one of my friends showed me a cover version of the intro theme, which I think was really fucking cool. And I'm like, I would buy it just to get that, but I think, hopefully, and this is what we're about to get to, that if I can get my paws on the NX, I might get the new thing if I have money, which is unlikely. Yeah, I'm all into battle and adventure stuff.
Well.
Oh, did you make that Switch sound effect?
Who?
That Nintendo Switch sound effect. You or Krüz, I don't know. One of you
What,
two.
you mean this?
I don't think I did.
That's my steering wheel.
Oh, I thought it was a different, because I actually have the sound effect on my phone if you guys want to hear it.
Do it.
Yes, I totally see what you mean. Anyway, I actually have it. Hold on. No, that's my ringtone, not my ringtone. My notification sound. Yes, right here. Oh, hold on. Sorry about that. Okay. I'm not sure if you guys heard that, but
that sounded more like a gun.
Let me see it again.
It sounds more like kind of like the home run bat sound.
Yes, I totally see what you're talking about, but with that being,
I love the home run bat sound. It's so satisfying.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, I totally see what you're going from. But anyway, with that being said,
we move on to the
go.
Nintendo Switch announcement. After months of teasing, Nintendo has finally announced the Switch. What was once dubbed as the NX, Nintendo dropped the ball on the 20th, revealing the new console. By the way, check out S.E.T. Episode 1, where we talk about the Nintendo Switch. Shameless plug. Not only is it a home console, you can take your games on the go, including multiplayer titles. This is a hybrid system allowing for play on a tablet screen with detachable controllers for on-the-go play, or you could plug the piece of toast into the toaster and enjoy it on your TV. Yes, I have to think in euphemisms of food, or else I will forget. There's a multitude of controllers and ways to play, and ways as we've seen so far, but time will tell on how much we'll get. What's interesting is that in the announcement trailer there's no CD slot, but there is a cartridge slot. I know what you're thinking. Why is Nintendo going back to cartridges? Well, these days, on the size of an SD card, you can get up to a terabyte of storage, even though that is a little bit expensive, but not only would Nintendo be cutting costs of production of CDs, but they're trying to bring innovation to the industry once more, with the ability to take the games anywhere. A flaw in the Wii U was the gamepad's limited range of the console. You could only get about half a foot away before you had to stand right next to the console. When you take the Switch, with the Switch, you can take the console on an airplane and still be playing games like Skyrim or NBA 2K. Speaking of which, the Switch looks to have better third-party developer support from what we've seen, hopefully bringing Nintendo back in contention with Microsoft and Sony. We here at Subwuffer Entertainment Treehouse are very hyped for the Switch, and what do you guys think about it?
I'm really excited for this. I think, man, there's just so much that I think this can offer. Hopefully, they So I covered this in the other episode we did, but hopefully they just allow more, accessibility with online stuff, and with no backwards compatibility. I imagine they're going to have to do something to compensate for that.
Virtual
they're
console.
gonna they're gonna do so. I mean, like, you don't just go from the N64 to the GameCube for nothing. With that being said, however, well, there is a Nintendo Toaster.
The Nintendo
Cody Fox. It's for the Nintendo Entertainment System. With that being said,
it's basically a toaster.
AVGN has one.
Right.
It's basically a toaster in a good way, though.
With that being said, speaking of Skyrim, Bethesda released a link because they were asked if Skyrim was going to be released on the Nintendo Switch. You want to know what they said? They said they wouldn't comment, and I'm like, so then why'd you do it?
I think it's for legal reasons.
Well, I understand it's probably for legal reasons, but at the same time, if you show a video game from a company that has been made, don't try to deny it when you showed it. It doesn't make any sense. But with that being said, I'm pretty sure Skyrim is coming on the Nintendo Switch. I kind of wish it came
in the list of third-party developers.
I kind of wish it came a little bit sooner, but with that being said, Nintendo Switch, I am very, very hyped for. We talked about it a lot more in our impromptu episode. I highly recommend that you take a look at that.
Link will be in the doobly-doo.
Yes, it will be. Just hope that you can take a look at it. I'm in love with the Nintendo Switch sound effect. I love the music video that was used in it. But other than that, I'm pretty sure most Nintendo fans are hyped for it. I myself am hyped for it as well. I am also hoping that there's not going to be any. I hope that there will not be any digital backwards compatibility if there's no physical backwards compatibility for that. But with that being said, I'm pretty sure Nintendo's going to, if they make a home menu on their controller, I'm pretty sure they're gonna make an internet system that will probably utilize the internet in some special way of sort. But we'll see what happens, especially since you're going to be taking especially since it's possible that you are going to be taking your controller. Yeah, and there's no internet there, so you have to do something about that. But anyway. Yeah. That's all I have to say on Nintendo Switch X. If there's anything,
Switch X,
Switch,
Nintendo
Switch X, Nintendo Switch rather. If you have anything,
there it is. It's the Nintoaster.
I would highly recommend you watched our impromptu episode regarding it. But anyway, what do you think? What do you think, guys?
First of all,
hope it has Wi-Fi. You go ahead. Yeah.
First of all, I think the sound effect should have been this.
Okay.
Whenever I can shoehorn that in.
Right. That was great. My God.
I want it. I want my toaster. I want my toast. I want to take my toast on the road and play it at school.
Yeah. Oh well, that's the GIF. I think Scarfy and I've retweeted it. It's like but can you? It's the Switch with a PS4, and it's like, but can you do this? And it keeps popping up and down and popping up to the TV. Yeah. But can you do this?
I know that was the most funniest thing ever. That's the best one ever in my opinion.
That's why I want that thing. I want to be one of 7 people who have the Nintendo Switch at school. It's like, holy shit, you're playing Skyrim?
Dude, you want to know something funny? I was actually watching Angry Joe's reaction to Nintendo Switch, and he said he's not sure. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Angry Joe, but anyway, he said that he's not sure if he would take the Nintendo Switch literally where it can get stolen as easy, or take it on an airplane where he can lose all the parts, And he's also saying that I feel as if this system should be 300, but Nintendo's not going to put it at 300. They'll probably put it at 400 because they want to make a profit. Too. Yeah, but I really do think it should be 300 in my opinion, no more than 300. But I don't really have a say in that, so
nope.
Unfortunately Nintendo can either really excite me or they can really disappoint me, but I'm kind of expecting them to disappoint me with the price.
Yeah. Hoping it's affordable because,
Yes.
you know...
There was another debate with the Nintendo Switch regarding, like, you know, okay, well, they're cutting down costs from CDs and, you know, and instead switching to cartridges. And I'm like, okay, well, I understand if you're cutting down costs, but what exactly do you mean? Are you cutting it for your benefit or for our benefit? Because when I take a look at it, a video game is $60. A regular retail price game, like, and what are you guys like going to be? Are you going to be selling like these little base, you know, cartridges for $60? Like, I'm kind of like wondering, okay, well, what's going on here? So, I mean, all I can say is that I'm hope they're here to benefit us. If the price is high on the console, but the video games are lower than 60, then okay, maybe I will give it a shot. But until we know the price range and we know what kind of internet service it has, I don't really have much more to say. And Nintendo's not going to give any more information out until probably a month later. So that's all I have to say about it. But anyway,
do we want to move it on to movies with Scarfy?
Yeah. I have a quick interjection I've just found.
Objection!
It's okay. Apparently, the Russian embassy of the UK has tweeted a picture of the wolf and said, "Please stop making porn of our wolf. Russia begs you." This is what you get for all your cyber interfering and all your hacking and shit. This is payback, and this is justified. We don't like it.
Tony the Tiger scandal, please.
We don't like it, but you all deserve it.
Yeah, we don't like that. I do think it's funny though, but
Russia's just like, Russia, please. It would have been funnier if it was Sweden, because
you know, I'm gonna type something in the chat regarding that, and I'm gonna send it over to Naka because I can't say it here, and so that he can read exactly what I'm saying. And you guys continue talking about the NX before we move on. Just hold on, please. I'm gonna send it to.
Seriously, I'm just gonna call this thing the Toaster. It's nothing against the Switch name. Seriously, it's nothing against Nintendo. I just want to call it the Toaster.
It's the Nintoaster. That's what they're gonna call it now.
already exists, and that's an NES.
Credit to who said it first. I think it was. No, it was either Cody or Shudder said it.
Well, the Nintoaster originally was a custom-built NES, and then the Angry Video Game Nerd had one for a while. I think he still does. He just doesn't use it in videos anymore.
Okay, all right. I sent it to you, Naka.
Wait, do you want me to read this out loud or no?
Yes, read it verbatim.
All right. I'm going to read this in an accent. I hope the mascot dog in Russia is gay, because it would cause controversy in Russia.
Thank you. That's all I needed to know. I hope people are actually laughing about that, because that would be really hilarious. Anyway.
Who wants
but
6 over 1.
But anyway.
Toaster!
But anyway.
Alright, we're gonna move it on to Scarfy with movies.
Alright, let's get to some movie news. Heart. See what I did there? That was my best Mati impression. Seems like with our powers combined, we are making Captain Planet based off the cartoon show Captain Planet and the Planeteers. And guess who they chose as a producer? That's right, the D-Man himself, Leonardo DiCaprio. Hey, I have a little more faith in me. It's interesting than it sounds, mostly because it's being produced by Leonardo himself. But I know what you're all thinking. Why on earth do we need to have a movie based off a show that taught kids how to save the environment, but most likely won't? Well, that's not my problem, seeing how the movie isn't even in production works yet or anything like that, but I suppose we'll see what happens. Either way, the link in the description will help smooth things out if you're interested. I'm just hoping that this film will not be like the next Avatar or something.
Oh, I love your pun.
We're also
really?
hoping this,
why on earth do we need to have a movie based off a show that taught kids how to save the environment? But most likely won't, because that's what's happening right now.
Also, hoping that it's not Hopefully Al Gore wasn't involved in production with this, because the last thing we need is more propaganda. Man Bear Pig. It's super ethereal.
I thought you were gonna say member berries, but
Member
Al Gore.
Yeah, fuck that guy, and fuck his wife too. We're gonna get to that later.
What is this?
Okay. We'll get to that later. Don't worry. But anyway, seriously, guys, what do you think about this? Because I remember like despising this show when it was on.
I
don't goddamn Oscar for this.
I thought they just made this literally as a recycling campaign, but like I knew that it was also kind of its own show. I never really watched the show. I just thought it was funny it was fun to make fun of.
I have a question. Did you know that LeVar Burton from Reading Rainbow was the guy who played Kwame, who controlled the power of Earth, who would always say, "Let our powers combine"?
And he also played Geordi on Star Trek Next Generation.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
He's very smart.
Watch George Carlin and his thing about entropy fan. That'll kick some sense into you.
Man,
put the situation in perspective, let's say. I'll just leave it with that. Ah!
But other than that, I don't really care about Captain Planet, but we'll see what happens when this show, so we can talk more about it later.
Yeah.
With that being said, do you guys have anything else to say?
He should get a goddamn Oscar.
Yeah. Well, he has an Oscar.
Yeah, well, he should get another one for all the ones.
One is not enough. One is not enough.
Well, at least we broke the meme, because that meme was getting really annoying.
And they sort of
but anyway, give him a goddamn Oscar.
He is white knuckling that thing. It ain't going anywhere.
But anyway, let's move on to what's coming soon to theaters. Not a lot of movies coming out this week, sadly, but hopefully this will tie you over. Looks like it's time to return to the book series that either intrigues audiences or belittles them, with Inferno, a 2016 American mystery thriller film directed by Ron Howard and written by David Coep, based on the 2013 novel of the same name. The film is the sequel to The Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons, and stars Tom Hanks reprising his role as Robert Langdon, alongside Felicity Jones, Omar Sy, Sitze Babette Knudsen, Ben Foster, and Irfan Khan. Based on the novel by Dan Brown, Academy Award winner Ron Howard returns to direct the latest bestseller in Dan Brown's The Da Vinci Code, billion-dollar Robert Langdon series, which finds the famous symbologist played by Tom Hanks on a trail of clues tied to the great Dante himself. When Langdon wakes up in an Italian hospital with amnesia, he teams up with Sienna Brooks, a doctor he hopes will help him recover his memories. Together, they race across Europe and against the clock to stop a madman from unleashing a global virus that would wipe out half of the world's population. Sadly for me, I haven't seen either of its predecessors, but seeing how the series has gotten a massive cult following with the older generation, guess it only makes sense to continue the franchise in any which way they can. And hey, anything with Tom Hanks is a big moneymaker, so I'm sure there'll be some entertainment for you there. The film releases on October 28th.
Yeah, I'm intrigued because at least I read Dante's Inferno, and I like, just for the sake of it, and just for the hell of it. Yeah, because well, the only thing I knew about it before that was that Five Finger Death Punch had a song called Canto 34, and I didn't know what it meant up until, they realized it's the canto where Dante and Virgil meet Satan. Or they see him, he doesn't really do anything, and then they leave. But it's made to seem more epic. But I think this is really cool because it reminds me a bit of at least the first Alex Rider, with not the movie because the movie sucked, but the story with having to stop the guy from releasing a global virus.
Yeah, I totally see what you mean. What do you think, Naka?
I'm kind of happy that there's a sequel to The Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons. I guess it delivers because it looks awesome. That and the fact that the releasing of a global virus or something like that reminds me of not only One Chance, which was a Flash game that was very emotional. It had a lot of heavy emotions. And it also reminds me of Call of Duty Black Ops 1, with the Nova 6 attacks that could have possibly eradicated the entire U.S. because, hey, this is a sleeper cell that kills everybody. God, I'm a goddamn.
I totally see what you mean. I totally see what you mean. By the way, I totally need to read Dante's Inferno because I heard that's an amazing book. In fact, I need to read the entire. What's that entire thing called? I'm not too sure.
It's the Divine Comedy. I hadn't found the other ones.
The Divine Comedy. Thank you.
Yeah, and I read the version of it that was like written in. It was translated from Italian into like Middle English, sort of like. It's like written in a more.
Booby da boppy, eat the pizza.
The old sense, you know what I'm talking about, like not quite Shakespeare, but like the older sounding English, like the way they said things. But they did have a bunch of annotations to clear up the meanings. But I think it'd be more epic to read it or just to understand it in the more modern version. But yeah, I'd love to read, because they go from they start with the Inferno, and then it's I forget the middle one, and then the last one's Paradiso or something, because it goes hell, earth, and then heaven.
That makes sense.
All right. Before we move on, I just want to interject something. But the Walking Dead, I believe it's either season 6 or season 7. All I know is that it's the season premiere. It is premiering in 22 minutes for those who have satellite TV, or if you live on the East Coast.
I did see.
By the way, I seem to look it up. It's a fake post for the Russian dog. It's fake. I was
about to say.
God, that's I
imagine it's photoshopped, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. I kind of understood that beforehand, but I'm like, it's just kind of funny to make it look like they said it, because Russia is one of those countries that would just go out and say something like that.
Yeah, I agree. But other than that, I mean, it's really, sorry guys, it is fake, but hey, at least we got a laugh out of it. That's all I have to say. But anyway,
the never-ending football. I don't know.
No, please no.
I was thinking of Extreme Power Metal by Dragon Force.
Okay. All right. Anyway, let's move on to our coming attractions. Yep, that was the only movie that was being released for this week. Sorry, guys. I hate to burst your bubble, but anyway, let's move on to the Cage Man himself. How to get burned. Anyway, USS Indianapolis: Men of Courage. It's an interesting war film with Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage is kind of the meme of all actors, the mother of all memes when it comes to actors, but that's just because A, he's funny, and B, he's unintentionally funny.
Yeah. I did actually read. I read I forget the author, but it's Left for Dead, and it was the story about the USS Indianapolis, and that the story was that so I didn't understand, it sank in 14 minutes because all the hatches were open.
Yeah.
And
that's what they say about down the hatches.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if you don't, the ship will sink pretty fucking quickly. And the whole thing was about trying to survive, because the people who were on the rafts would not let other people on if they were injured, because they would attract sharks. And that was that was most of the book, Wait, this was a book, U.S. Indianapolis: Men of Courage?
The
book is called Left for Dead.
Okay.
And it was about...
Who else is thinking the Valve game?
It was a guy who did, who... I don't know what he did, but he went and he met with some of the veterans who had survived the incident and wanted to write their story, because the captain was court-martialed after the incident and later committed suicide. So the guy who was writing the story wanted to set the record straight. But I think it's a really cool story, but I'm just not sure if Nicolas Cage would have been the right actor to put in there. Hopefully he takes it seriously, because it's a really good story.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But with that being said, I have no interest in seeing this film, if only because unless it's going to be the new not the bees memes.
Not the bees.
But anyway,
Not the breeze.
Not the
Wicker Man was terrible.
It would be not the Japanese.
Oh, it was terrible, but it's just so funny that how he handled that. But anyway,
It's World War II. World War II. World War II. World War II. That's literally what I wrote in my notes. I just wrote World War II 4 times.
okay, well, anyway, let's move on to more Nicolas Cage with Army of One. This is by the same director who.
No, this one actually looked funny as shit.
This is by the same director who directed Borat, which I highly recommend you check out. But what do you guys think?
I totally thought of a thrash metal song, but Nicolas Cage has to capture Bin Laden. This looks great, and I kind of want to see it.
I love that they made Russell Brand God. It's like none of this oh lord shit. I'm not a. It's like, what are you doing? I'm not a genie.
This isn't Aladdin.
It's like,
I know this
has offensive written all over it.
I know, but it's so hilarious. It's by the same director who did Borat, I believe. Yeah, Borat and Bruno, but it was really, really funny. So, in my opinion, well, we don't talk about that one. But anyway, this film I think but I think this film is hilarious, and I almost want to see it. What do you guys think?
I do want
written all over it.
This just looks like it actually should be funny, even like either because it's actually good or because it's so, it's not, I don't want to say bad, but one of those films that's meant to be bad in a good way as a joke.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's what it's going to be, and that's what I want to see.
I think
How to get burned. How to get
being Cage, Nicolas Cage. That's what we all want to see.
Yeah.
I really think this is a good role for him.
Well, didn't we already see that in Wicker Man? But anyway, I don't have anything else to say about Army of One. It looks funny. I'm pretty sure you guys will get a laugh out of it. But why don't we move off? Yeah. Why don't we move on to Operator Official? This particular movie I think is very interesting because it stars I believe the same actress who voiced Katara in Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is very, very nice. Yes, very sweet indeed. And she also voiced Roxy Richter in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Highly recommend it. Great film. But other than that, this is all I have to say about this film, and it looks really interesting. I like the idea of, finding the perfect monotone voice to be used for a program, and then all of a sudden this person gets just so obsessed with hearing it that he almost falls in love with her. So that's a very interesting ordeal in itself. What do you guys think?
Good job, Brett. Sorry.
See, I thought he already was in love with her from the trailer, and that he was and that the issue was that he was getting obsessed with the recording, and he just wanted to keep hearing that instead of hearing her, instead of actually talking to her. I thought that's what it was.
What do you think, Naka?
Is this about your recent anal fissure? That was the first line in the trailer. And I was just like, this movie just kind of reminds me of Her, and that's really all I can say.
Oh, I saw the movie Her. I actually really enjoyed it. My grandparents didn't enjoy it, but I thought it was good. What do you guys? I mean, when it comes to this film, what do you? Oh, well, what do you think, Naka?
Yeah, I might go see it. I might not.
Krüz, what do you think?
I'm not sure if I'm going to go out and see it, but I hope that it's more of an interesting kind of I don't want to say just like romance drama, but more of getting into the obsession of it, of whatever it is, whether it's it's the operating system leading the guy to her, or if it's what's fucking up their relationship or something. I just want to see shit go down because that's the kind of person I am.
Yeah, I totally see what you mean. So, I mean, like, this one looks interesting. I would actually want to see it. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if anyone would despise not seeing it, but I actually kind of want to see it. I don't know. What do you like? But anyway, do you want me to move on to the next one?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, be prepared. Out of all the films that are there, this is the one that I was looking forward the least likely to putting on, and that's The Boss Baby. I don't even care what you guys think. I think this movie looks stupid,
Fucking
and I
stupid.
don't want to see it. Yes, it does, and I really don't like DreamWorks. I think their animation company is all about cash. They never once not put any creative ideas unless it's either How to Train Your Dragon or Kung Fu Panda. Let's be honest, guys.
Or at
That's
one time,
really the
Shrek.
case. Yes. Well, Shrek Part 2 is, in my opinion, was better than Part 1. But anyway.
Shrek 1 and 2 are the best.
Yeah, Shrek 1 was the classic. Shrek 2, I think, was the better one.
Yeah, Shrek 2
Then
was
3?
so funny.
And then when it
3
came to
kind of...
Don't even get me started on Shark Tale.
Oh god, that movie's awful. But anyway, what do you guys think? Because this movie looks dumb.
Assholes.
I think this is one of the movies. It's like it's valuable for like minimal, like or for just token moments of where it's actually funny. But I don't know. I don't really see where else this could go that would actually be interesting. Unfortunately.
Here's how I wrote it in my notes: asshole child against brother who realizes asshole. The kid is an asshole, but the parents don't, and it turns out the baby is just Alec Baldwin, who's a dick.
Plot twist: baby
Pretty
is
much.
Baldwin's son or something.
Nothing against Alec Baldwin; it's the character that sucks.
Why, yes, Shudder, you did hear a meow. That was one of my grandmother's cats. But, you know. Don't worry, Fiber Kitty didn't hear him, so he didn't have to respond in earnest. But anyway, I don't have any recommendation to see The Boss Baby at all. I think it's really stupid. In fact, I think Trolls, when it comes out, is just going to be as stupid. But with that being said,
my God, no.
Yeah. To be honest, yeah.
Fucking damn it, Cody.
I'd agree with Cody on that one. I would rather watch that film than watch The Boss Baby. But anyway,
I'd rather watch
let's
Spy
move
Kids
on
4.
to. Anyway,
No,
I don't. No, that was worse. That was worse.
That was 3.
I haven't seen that, so
That was the third. The third one was that whatever fucking thing was.
third one was 3D Game Over, which, you know, if they made that into a video game, I'd play it.
I did, and it's impossible.
What, they made Spy Kids 3D into a video game?
A computer game, at least. I know I had it, and I quit because I could only get to the second stage. Like the first
level
stage, I
2?
think you have to surf on a lot. The second stage, you're on the track. Which
You're in the race. You're in the race.
Yeah, like the mechanics, it was just like impossible to control, and I'm just like, fuck this, and I stopped.
But anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to our next coming attraction, Nocturnal Animals. This one looks kind of interesting. I mean, it has Jake Gyllenhaal from what I saw. But there's not too much that's been released about it that I can actually, judge it on, because there's just not much to judge it on, rather. But hey, I really do think it's awesome. I'm not too sure if you guys. Well, what do you guys think?
It reminds me of a girl on the train.
Yeah,
Really?
I'm not.
In
Yeah,
ways.
I think it looks kind of like it, but I'm not sure what element of mystery there is to it, because it's just about one relationship, and I said might be because I was thinking. I noticed the line that stood out was like, "You may never get this chance again." So I'm thinking that might lead to some shit going down.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying. I mean, like when I'm looking at this film, I don't think anything really comes too much. I think more information needs to be discussed before I can actually really enjoy a film like this. But I'm not too sure what the chat thinks either. What do you think, Naka?
This movie it gives off like, oh hey, it wants to be somewhat of a mystery, it wants to be like a romance, like a rom-dram, and then it also wants to add in like brutal violence and blah 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 blah.
Unless it's like Gone Girl, then it's not going to be worth anything, because Gone Girl that gets like deep into the realms of deception and psychosis shit. It's my god.
Right.
Anyway.
Can we move on?
Anyway. Yes, we can move on. You sound really bored by this trailer.
I don't like it.
All right. We can move on. Okay, well, let's move on to a little bit more of a scary film. A Cure for Wellness. This is a film that I think would interest you a lot, Krüz, because it's directed by Gore Verbinski, the same director who directed the pirate films.
Yeah.
Pirate.
Yeah.
But let's not get off topic. What do you guys think?
Yeah, for real though, I was just mocking what was it Shutter said. But I like this. I'm hoping this is kind of like an experimental insane asylum kind of film. I saw some aspects of that with like the salt bath and the, what do you call it? Those chambers where people are suspended in water or whatever.
Stasis chambers.
And
yeah,
stasis. Yeah, I thought that was really creepy, and I was hoping that's what that's about, because that's the kind of, that looks like a good, not necessarily just horror, but like a really good thriller movie.
So my reaction at the end of the trailer was, what the fuck? How the fuck? Ding dong fuck? What did I just watch?
Yeah, fuckerino.
But in all honesty, guys, like,
it's pretty.
This is a film that I think would interest Krüz a lot, because it's directed by Gore Verbinski, the same director as who did the 3 pirate films. So if that film was entertaining for him, I'm pretty sure this film would be entertaining to him as well, if it's coming from the same director.
Which 3 pirate films are you talking about? Or what?
Black Pearl,
Dead
Man's Chest, Outworld's End.
Oh, right. Okay, she didn't specify pirates, but I know that's the default. What a jaw dead, Angus what's inside it. I love the fact apparently that whole scene was unscripted and Johnny Depp just rolled with it.
Yeah.
That's what makes it beautiful. He's like, those reactions are real.
Speaking of
there's a lot of unscripted scenes, especially, I mean, like, for instance, Full Metal Jacket has the unscripted scene, and I think that was hilarious in my opinion. But anyway, go ahead.
Dark Knight had a lot of those scenes, especially like when Heath Ledger was trying to blow up the hospital.
The hospital scene, yeah.
That was legitimately the take they used.
Click, boom! You scared the shit out of him, too.
Yeah. And that was the best part. This looks interesting. What it did remind me of was, I'm going to bring up Black Ops 1 again, but on the Zombies map 5, on like the basement level, there's like a bunch of these labs, which was later talked about in like just like a trailer for, I believe it was Moon. It was some trailer for one of the later zombie maps. It's a Call of Duty Zombies lab, and this movie reminds me a lot of that, and the level Zombies map 5, which is in the Pentagon. Why am I connecting so much to Call of Duty Black Ops 1? Maybe it's because it's my favorite Call of Duty game. I don't know.
In the same way, it kind of looks like that. At least when you go to the
chambers,
the Forbidden Lab in Fallout 4 and the Institute, like you see the failed super mutants in the stasis chambers, and it's kind of like, holy shit, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah. So do you guys want me to move on?
Let's go.
Come on.
Black Mirror, another TV series that was released on October 21st. I know that we're a little late to the party with releasing this particular film. However, with this film, I think it's kind of interesting because TV series, yes, I got my words mixed up. This is a Netflix TV series that's been released on Netflix. I'm not too sure if I would see it, but I saw the trailer for it, and it looks really interesting in my opinion.
Yeah, it actually
not
does.
too. Not, I don't know about you guys, but what do you think, Krüz?
I want it.
I think I'm not entirely sure what this is about. It kind of seems to me like it's about the humans, like our subconscious relationship with technology, and like another thing stood out to me, like when computers outsmart humans, and as in like every any situation where like a robot or whatever has taken over, that's what happened when they outsmarted us and they learned to disobey orders, like Ex Machina, which was another great movie.
Ex Machina, not Ex Machina. Yeah, you gotta get your pronunciations right.
Well, I never said I was good at that. Okay, whatever. Ex Machina. I learned it from the Greek original version, whatever fucking thing. But yeah, I think that's really interesting. I'm not sure, like, what, like, one of the guys, like, he looked like he was possessed by a computer, and I'm not really sure how that would work. But I think that's a really interesting thing to delve into with, like, all the different stories. So I'm going to try to check that out.
One thing in the trailer that is like it's a harsh truth, but there's a reason why like I prefer not to have a webcam, is because even when your computer is off or like it's in sleep mode, anybody can hack into that webcam and anybody can see what you're doing and
the
not
NSA
have the
can
light
see
on.
you. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I don't really do anything like that in front of my computer.
Yeah, that's the harsh truth of reality these days.
I'm not just gonna be like, oh, I'll just stand right in front of my computer and do all this shit. No, I'm not gonna do that.
But anyway, let's move on to our next coming attraction, Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Yes, Assassin's Creed. I'm not too sure what to think about this particular film. A lot of people say that video game films tend to suck. I, for one, on the other hand, could I'd say that the only real good video game film that I clearly saw was a tie between Scott Pilgrim and Wreck-It Ralph. But anyway, I don't know if people are excited or, really angered by this particularly. But for me, I just want to say this right now. Jeremy Irons is amazing. So I'm kind of glad that I'm hearing his voice in this particular film. What do you guys think?
Me personally, I'd rather stick with the games because then I could do whatever the hell I want and I just don't have to criticize, oh man, why did he jump off of there? He could have climbed up on the next building and blah 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 blah. Personally, I would stick with the games.
Well, I'm pretty sure people did that in the World of Warcraft movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of frustrating. Like, I can't control him. They're not used to that thing with that character, but I think it's interesting that they chose to do this because it's possible to do that kind of just being a lab subject to be in the Animus and like go back in time. Mm-hmm. I think that's something that's sort of been done in a way before, but it's like a good opportunity to make a movie out of it. And I also want to see how they pull off the leap of faith because they did hint at that in the trailer.
I could totally agree with that particular thing, but with that being said, I don't have much to say about this film. I never played any of the games. Yeah, I'd rather move on to the next trailer.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the next coming attraction, I can understand people are very excited for. When I saw this particular trailer, I just want to say right now, kudos for using Johnny Cash so perfectively in this particular trailer. Logan. This is the new X-Men film starring huge jacked man as Wolverine, aka Hugh Jackman, I know. But other than that, all I can say is that with the trailer and the story that was released, I particularly, for one, am a little excited for this one. What do you?
Yeah, I've seen people took the Hugh Jackman and the girl and put the Last of Us logo on it.
Oh, come on.
I'm like basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
But I do think it's a really cool premise that it's that you told me. Apparently, it was cloned. That she was cloned from his DNA, and that
Yes, that's correct.
He has to. I'm assuming he has to train her to be one of the next X-Men. I think
Well, he
that's
has to protect her.
train her and protect her, or train her to, or help her defend herself, because he's not
Right.
obviously he's not going to be able to be around the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's going to be something that's really cool, and I'm excited for this one.
What do you think?
It's going to be
Naka?
awesome, and I want it.
That's really all
I need it.
I need it. Need it.
I
yes.
need it.
And yes, kudos for, you can't go wrong with Johnny Cash. Someday God's gonna cut you down.
No, you can't go wrong with Johnny Cash. It's a shame that he's not with us anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I know a lot of people are personally excited for this film, and I can definitely tell you that I am. But anyway, that's not even close to the granddaddy of all the coming attractions that most people are excited. All right, guys, here we go. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I'm pretty sure that everyone is excited for this trailer. Baby Groot. Okay, enough of that.
Baby Groot.
I'm excited because I want to see this film really do well. I really want to see this film do well because I want to see more character interaction, more character development for that matter, because we didn't get enough of Rocket Raccoon's backstory.
True.
In my honest opinion. But other than that, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are excited for this particular film because A, Rocket Raccoon, and B, Rocket Raccoon. But anyway, let's be real here.
And C, Baby Groots.
Yeah, but what do you guys think?
I want it, and I need it. I need it. I need it. I need it. Yes.
Yes, but seriously, how excited are you for this film?
Let's see. 7 out of 4.
Okay.
I only got 7.
I mean, like,
I
what are you most
$3.
excited? What are you most excited about this film, though?
The fact that we get another Guardians of the Galaxy film.
Is that all, though?
I loved the first one.
Okay, I understand that, but like, what exactly are you excited about it other than just hype?
What do
Other
you
than
want to
just
see?
hype. I'm just like, we get more Chris Pratt adventures. We get more Raccoon. We get Baby Groot. We get to see, oh hey, what the fuck is going on in space these days?
Okay, and what do you think, Krüz?
Yeah, I think he's just like happy hype. I kind of am too, but I think I hope this film also does well, because I know it does have the potential to have that good mix of action and comedy, because especially the scene in the trailer with I forget the guy's name. You guys they called Drax and Chris Pratt. He's like, you need to find a woman who is as pathetic as you. Thank you. He's like, do you need a hug? No. And he hugs him anyway. I said no. You're welcome. I just love that.
If only he was furry. Okay, no.
Over my head. I will credit you.
But see,
I am Groot.
I'm surprised. I will say I'm surprised that Dave Bautista isn't in other films, at least not from what I've seen. But maybe he is. I'm not too sure. But I certainly hope he gets more. He has a really good. Yeah, he has a lot more screen time. In fact, one of the things that most upset me about Guardians of the Galaxy 1, and don't get me wrong, it was a very, very well done film, was that it glossed over Rocket Raccoon's backstory way too fast to make way for plot. And don't get me wrong, I understand that, it is important to make way from the story. But at the same time, I was very disappointed because we only got a 30-second exposition of Rocket Raccoon's backstory. And here's the but anyway, here's the thing though. When it comes to the definition of film, show, don't tell. Don't tell us what happened. Why don't you actually start showing it? And I got on this debate, saying that I really do believe that, Rocket Raccoon should definitely have a more of a backstory. And, I understand that people are saying, okay, well, why don't you just go read a comic book? I'm like, well, here's the problem with that. With a movie, you have an older generation of adults who don't know what the heck Rocket Raccoon is. Do you really think they're going to spend their time reading a comic book? I don't really think so. And not only that, if you think about it movie-wise, do you think that even a person who hasn't even read the comic books is gonna be that interested in wanting to see, what happens to the backstory with Rocket Raccoon? Yes, you will see that. Mm-hmm. But so if anything for me, I personally think that if there's ever a better time to explain Rocket Raccoon's backstory for a good 2 to 3 minutes, this would be the film. At least Drax gets a pass because he constantly talks about his family, how his family was destroyed over and over throughout the movie. So that's all I have to say. I know I'm going on and on about this, but I am hoping that that's the case for this particular trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm just sad that forget his name. One of the other, it wasn't Bradley Cooper. It was the other voice actor who worked on Rocket Raccoon. Was at Andrew Con. I looked at the cast and I see he wasn't there.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I don't know because I feel like Bradley Cooper did do the main voice, but I think this other guy did mostly the shouting voice or the what do you call it? The gravelly voice. Okay. People don't read it anymore.
But anyway, that's all I have to say regarding it. How about you guys?
I want it. I've experienced my hype train.
I am hopping on board that hype train.
All right, and that is it for movie news. Now, we're gonna do something a little different here. We were originally going to have our special guest talk with us regarding thoughts for this week, but unfortunately, our special guest had to cancel on us. So we don't hold anything. We don't hold anything regarding that, but we'll continue talking about it anyway. Thought for this week. Let's be honest here. Ratings nowadays have been criticized everywhere in the United States. We've gone to a film rating system where PG is now considered the adult stuff for children, to rated M games, while mostly being bought from adults, are still being played by kids, to music where a conservative housewife can easily get offended for saying a dirty word in a song on an album. But this begs the question that I think many people especially want to know: are rating systems bullshit? The three main companies that rate movies, video games, and music respectively are the Motion Picture Association of America, the Entertainment Software Rating Board, and the Recording Industry Association of America.
All right. Before we start, I need to excuse myself for just a moment, but you guys can go on.
Okay, Krüz.
You knuckle cracking. All right. Let's preheat this oven. So I'm going to roast these motherfuckers till they are golden brown and toasty.
Okay.
All right. So what is the RIAA / fuck the PMRC? So disclaimer, some of this I got from Wikipedia, although I have confirmed it from other sources and also from my personal experience. So the RIAA, Scarfy.Should, is the Recording Industry Association of America. And it essentially serves as the interest group, as they also lobby in Congress for record labels. And they have representatives from all the big, record companies on their board. So they're basically, just their counsel and whatever. So they are the ones who are responsible for certifying gold and platinum albums and singles. Nowadays, of course, the only ones who are certified are pop. It's fucking depressing. Music quality and artist
unless it's Adele.
Yeah. Unless it's actually, written by the artist.
Right.
It's the music quality and talent has been thrown out the window. Just repetitive, mind-numbing, auto-tuned pop bullshit continuously receiving praise for shallow, meaningless lyrics and mediocre instrumentals. That is, if there are any. Well, that's out of the way. Now on to the real problem. Tipper Gore, yes, that is the wife of Al Gore, the inventor of global warming. She went
guys.
super serial about this. She went on a witch hunt to eradicate explicit music by founding the PMRC, which is Parent Music Resource Center, which is a very misleading name. The only thing the PMRC really accomplished was to convince the RIAA to put the parental advisory labels on albums deemed to have explicit lyrics and or themes, which still happens, but there's so many albums that just slip through and that nobody cares. This, however, backfired to an extent because Walmart first off refused to use the sticker, and which is why some albums were not sold there, because they refused to sell albums that had the logo on it. And whenever the sticker did appear, I found this interesting because I experienced this. It had the forbidden fruit effect, increasing temptation to listen to the album, and thus, in some cases, increasing sales. And that was why I bought the first Green Day album I had, which is Bullet in a Bible, and later Insomniac, which I think also had that logo on it. And my mom didn't know, what it meant, and I didn't know what it meant. But I'm like, oh, parental advisory, this must be some good shit. That's what I was thinking. So, I mean, it's kind of like, in some cases it's ignored, and in some cases it's a badge of honor. It's kind of like, yeah, I'm vulgar, fuck you. But here are some of the songs that made Tipper Gore's blacklist. Started off with Eat Me Alive, Judas Priest, for being about sex, and the iTunes description for the album Defenders of the Faith also took a shot at them by saying that the only thing vulgar about this song is the solo, because the solo is just insane. Then we have Bastard by Motley Crue for violence language. Let Me Put My Love Into You by AC/DC for being about sex, if you didn't guess. We're Not Gonna Take It, Twisted Sister, because it quote, encouraged violence. Dress You Up by Madonna for being about sex. Trashed by Black Sabbath, drug alcohol use. Well, they forgot Sweet Leaf and Fairies Wear Boots, and among others. Possessed by Venom, a cult, which is kind of, no shit. Fun fact for you that Venom was the blueprint for black metal, which was named after the Venom song of the same name. And then we have She Bop by Cyndi Lauper for being about sex. It's kind of like, anything that's about sex, it's forbidden, blah, 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 blah. All right. The backlash from musicians was merciless. Among the leaders of the resistance were none other than Frank Zappa, John Denver, Dee Snider of Twisted Sister, Megadeth, the entire band, Danzig of Misfits, and also as a solo artist, Ice-T,
Lemonade?
Anthrax, Read the Sign, Anthrax, the Ramones, Dead Kennedys, Eminem, Suicidal Tendencies, and Bad Religion. Noticing a theme? It's almost all rock, punk rock, metal, and rap were the typical recipients of this explicit stigma, which most of them took pride in. And also, this is what I referred to earlier. Fun fact that Metallica, on the back of Master of Puppets, they put a reference to George Carlin's skit about the seven dirty words. It goes as follows. The only track you probably won't want to play is Damage Incorporated due to multiple uses of the F word. Otherwise, there aren't any shits, fucks, pisses, cunts, motherfuckers, or cocksuckers anywhere on this record. Which is easily the best response out of all to this. And some of the others were more formal and thorough, like Dee Snider talking about, he's basically going on. He's like, I worry about my family, you worry about yours. You can fuck off.
I will have to say I am kind of curious that Tipper Gore is Democratic and not Republican, because at first I thought she was Republican, but she's actually a Democrat. I'm like, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. That just goes to show who's the real intolerant one. Not you, but about. Let's just put things in perspective. But anyway,
I forgot. Is Al Gore like a very controversial politician?
Not anymore. It wasn't about his politics. I think that was really anything
It was
mostly
about Man Bear Pig.
yeah, and I think it was just because he just did Inconvenient Truth because he had nothing better to do other than do some basic research and make this huge claim that was
okay.
pretty much debunked. But anyway, I think what was I going to say? I think this is
the PMRC.
Okay. But what do I say? Frank Zappa, he made an album. I think at least with one song. It's basically he in response to the PMRC saying that porn, like you can't have sex and stuff in metal. He made just all the songs written about sex. And also, I think the PMRC is not in commission anymore because it says on the Wikipedia it says was, so they're not around anymore. But the only trace of the PMRC nowadays is the
Parental advisory.
Yeah, which is still around in some cases, but it's, to be honest, it's really that was a failure on their part. And if anything, in most cases, it was like it encourages people to listen to that music because of the aforementioned forbidden fruit effect. And
what I don't understand is why, like, when it comes to this particularly, like my mom would not let me listen to music that had bad words in it, like, at all. But she wouldn't mind if I watched a film with bad words in them. Like, is there a difference? That's what I kind of wanted to know, if there was any difference, Krüz.
Yeah. Unlike movies, which I think, at least for some movie ratings, that you have a certain number of F words you can say or something, this one doesn't really, because it's more about the interpretation. It's also in the meaning, because one Twisted Sister song, which I forget the title of, that that D. Snyder, he said it was about surgery and something, but Tipper Gore assumed that it was about BDSM stuff. So D. Snyder made a good point. He's saying, like, the meaning is all about your interpretation. I interpret it as this, and you interpret it as that. That doesn't make it explicit. It's just a matter of, like, it's all it's more about the listener's interpretation of it than anything with video games or movies. It's more it's less about what the artist does. It's more about how it's interpreted.
I totally see what you mean, because it's like, okay, well, when an artist is talking about, like, something like that, obviously that's literally how they feel. And I guess, okay, well, with the movie script, it's kind of different, because, like, they're making up certain phrases that they're using in a film, and they really don't mean that at all. So I guess I can see what you mean by that, but it always kind of interests me, like, to see how explicit albums are still
They're still labeled, but also, like,
it doesn't matter if they're labeled. They still make a lot of money.
It's satisfying to know that the PMRC isn't around, and that countless bands, either directly or indirectly, took shots at the PMRC. One of the best ones was S.E.T. It was like, what? It's like, what? Yeah. Look at the sign. He was like, "What's the matter? Tip ain't getting no dick." It's like, we have a constitutional right. Your argument is weak. Shit like that. One of the other ones was like take here. I said a bad word. Take a dime and run and tell the PMRC. I was like, yeah. So it's like they I think either knowingly or unknowingly, the PMRC marched into enemy territory and promptly got their asses handed to them and sent back home. Which which goes to show you can't censor music. They will find some way, even if it comes up as in the form of Pussy Riot, something like that.
Yeah, of course.
Even if they're not really a band, even if they're not really a band, they're just there to do shit. People will find a way to get around it. You can't really censor music.
No, you can't. But anyway, Why don't we look at the ESRB next?
Oh boy.
Look at that unit.
For the ESRB, I feel it's too strict. A game like GTA 5 or The Witcher, where there's full frontal nudity and actual sex scenes, still gets an M rating, whereas a game like Halo will have a little bit of human blood, some swearing, and a gun, and it'll get the same rating as Steely Wheelie Automobile. Let's break down the rating scale of the ESRB. We have RP, rating pending. All is fair for a game that's being developed to not have a rating yet. Then we have EC, early childhood. Seldom, if at all, this rating is used, as most games children play nowadays are on phones or tablets that are not guided by the ESRB. Then we have E, everyone, also known as kids to adults or K to A. This is the rating scale that's usually most common in the video game industry from what I've seen. Mild crude humor and mild cartoon violence may be used at an infrequent rate to get this rating. Fair is fair, so a lot of platforming games are like this. Then we have E10 plus, everyone 10 and up. Here we have a more extended everyone that allows developers to get away with more mild crude humor and mild violence, a little bit of suggested content and little adult language. Not to the same extent as teen. It's alright. Then we have teen. These games usually contain moderate violence, mild to moderate use of swears, more suggestive content, and crude humor.
Like Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Most fighting games these days fall under T because most female characters have something called jiggle physics. Take Soul Calibur or Dead or Alive and you'll get jiggle physics.
Or
more
Rise,
of the language...
Rise Son of Rome.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a great, if you look that up on YouTube, there's a great video, like, even when she stops, her boobs are still moving. It's hilarious.
Moreover, the language, Jet Set Radio Future is rated T, mostly for its use of its music, most notably the Latch Brothers remix of the Prunes' Rockin' the Mic, which drops the N-bomb, I believe, twice. Still a good song, though, and I think their T rating is fine. Then we move on to rated M for mature. Here's where I have gripes with this whole thing. Games like Halo or Skyrim that have minor crude language and some blood will have an M rating. Meanwhile, games like Grand Theft Auto, Saints Row, Postal, or even Mass Effect with sex, drugs, drinking, mass murder, and animal violence gets the same rating. This is where the bullshit in the ESRB starts. You know why this thing came to be? Mortal Kombat on the Genesis/Mega Drive and the Super Nintendo back in '94. Oh no, there's too much blood, we need a rating system. Well, look where it's come to. And then we move over to Adults Only, or AO. Few games
AO.
rarely get rated this for violence reasons, but I think that was Manhunt 2. But the main trope that gets games the AO rating is pornographic material. So, I mean, technically Custer's Revenge would fall under AO, but seldom, if at all, this rating is used. But if it is used, it's generally out of stores immediately. So, in my opinion, at least, the ESRB's M ratings where all the bullshit in the ESRB comes from. Like, my parents have been letting me play M-rated games since I was 10. I'm not a mass shooter. I'm not a drug addict. I'm not addicted to sex. I'm a normal human being that can act normal. Frick's sake. I couldn't go out and buy, Halo 3 ODST or Halo Reach or even Call of Duty, which my parents were okay with me buying, but I couldn't because I was too young to get. Because not only was I too young at the time, but I was too young for games that could have gotten a T rating. I'm really tired of this, and I want to move on before I pop a blood vessel in my brain and die. So here's the question. Is the ESRB and other rating systems bullshit?
Yeah.
I personally think for the ESRB, it could be a little different. Like, for instance, if you take a game like Earthbound, a rated E game for that matter, it was rated, I believe, I want to say E10 this past year when it was released on the Wii U and Virtual Console. I'm not too sure. You're gonna have to correct me on that. If it was rated T, I would totally understand, but I don't really think it was rated T. Hold on, let me see the ESRB rating for Earthbound. Hold on, I'm just looking it up real quick. Okay, yeah, the rating was changed. So yeah, it was changed to rated T for violence, mild blood, suggestive themes, and crude humor. Let me ask you a question here. It was rated E on the Super Nintendo. is fantasy violence really that bad? I don't see any mild blood in it.
And then also cartoon violence too. It's kind of like, if it's like, in Super Mario, like 64 or whatever, like if you punch and then they get that sound effect, that's like mild violence because that's all you hear. They're punching them, but you don't see any blood or anything.
I'm not sure it's suggestive. Aside maybe the lady in 3, and okay, it has fart and poop jokes, and I'll give them that. Still, is there blood in the game that I'm not thinking of? If anything, I'm surprised they didn't include gambling in the list, since they seem to be one of the things the ESRB looks for.
I think
gambling in Pokemon.
I think that would usually go along with like alcohol, at least if it's a casino thing, or if it's just like a straight up, like I think my dad, like we had one Wii game was like the World Series of Poker that I think was I don't remember, it was T or M, but I think it was just because of the
the nature of the World Series of Poker.
I think it was mostly just because of the dialogue, because it was like they said a bunch of like they didn't really say curse words, but they just said a bunch of like things that would get your attention, like I had a sunburn more fun than that hand.
I know their Australian rating board rated it in M, but it had a moderate to have a moderate impact depending on the language, drug use, nudity, and stuff. But they kind of rate it differently than we do. But it's I don't know. I don't know. With the ESRB, I do think it needs to be changed. I do. It is. I look at the rating system. Do you really think that kids are going to be bothered by any of this? I mean, and don't even get me started. We haven't even gotten to the MPAA, but that's really all I can say. Oh, well, we'll get to them later. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I do think that the rating system has gotten a little too obnoxious. Like, I don't understand why they would go from an E rating to a T rating on a game that is clearly for kids and not for adults. So
or teenagers.
I think they just, and I just want to make this quick note that I think it was, and also the difference is like there's the sheer lack of a scale for music. I mean, because it's really hard and impossible to do that. Mm-hmm. But for this, I think there's a lot of games that I agree with the bullshit about mature. I think there's a lot of games that should be moved from M to T and then from T to E10 to be more realistic, because like the ESRB seems to take the cartoon violence and all the other things literally. Like they assume it's the worst case scenario, so they don't really consider like what it actually looks like in the game. Just stupid.
Yeah.
Bandicoot, F for furry. Yeah.
I'm just noticing. I'm just noticing. I have a.
Or just don't look at part of this character online as a forewarning. Like for any furry or any game that's like that gets taken up by the fandom.
Stop encouraging me.
What were you gonna say?
I have Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 sitting on my shelf, and I noticed that has an E rating. Meanwhile, Civilization 4, I believe, has an E10 rating.
Really?
Yeah, Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, you can literally kill people and like knock them over and make them ragdolls. But no, that gets an E rating. Yet Civilization 4, E10.
I don't get that.
I think because you don't actually see the people dying, you just see shit burning and blowing up. They're dying, but you don't see it.
Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 was rated E, but you can literally build parks where you do nothing but kill people.
You can build like fucking Saw trap type roller coasters, and they'll be none the wiser. I think that's also it's kind of hard to know people will do that until they do it, because you can't. I think that's also like not rated by the ESRB online stuff, but when they give you so much creative freedom, there's only so much they can rate on stuff that you will do. That is true.
Well, I will say this though. Now let's take a look at the MPAA.
Here's where the bullshit starts.
Oh yeah, I have so much to say about this and more. You guys have no idea. The rating systems for MPAA are by far the most controversial of any rating industry. Not only is there no access into the building and no word being discussed outside of the building to anyone else, but is ran by some of the most conservative housewives housewives imaginable, where if anything is found offensive to them, they will rate the film accordingly to how they please.
Remember typical. She wasn't a conservative. She
Jack
wanted
Valenti.
one of those yuppie liberals. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
It's like one of those soccer mom. That's it for her.
Jack Valenti, the late president of the company, came up with the law that states, if you make a movie that a lot of people want to see, no rating will hurt you. If you want to make a movie that few people want to see, no rating will help you. Ratings have nothing to do with box office. Some films have been rated NC-17, a rating that basically prohibits your film from ever being released in theaters when you feel like there isn't much of an NC-17 to go by. That is, unless you're a film like Blue is the Warmest Color, a French art house film exploring the immense depths of both sexuality and love, yet still being rated NC-17 for immense graphic nudity, even though other rating systems from other countries would rate it a bit less accordingly. Whatever. Some of the films that score an NC-17 either are processed or are fought for an R rating, or edited in such a way where audiences are not offended by it to get an R rating. And in my opinion, that shouldn't be how things are done. You'd think that most films, like South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, is rated R, right? And it is. But to be honest, it was an NC-17 at first, challenging that the film cannot have 400 or more swear words in it. How much did it have? 399.
Loopholes.
How many times was the film submitted to MPAA? 6 times, just to shoot for an R rating. The same nowadays goes for a PG film you'd think would be rated a G film. Take the Pixar film Inside Out, for example. There's no violence, no swear words, and yet it's still rated a PG film. Why? Is it because they showed a baby's buttocks in the movie? Is it the modern day language? Not a bad guess, but I think we know the reason. Kids want to feel like they're a young adult seeing a movie that technically is naughty, but doesn't have any naughty stuff in it. Because if they go to a G film like Blue Skies the Peanuts, they'll think the movie is technically only for kids and nothing else, and yet it is a very entertaining film to watch for not only for kids, but for adults as well. We've also gotten away with more graphic and violent films because America seems more comfortable with that more than the nudity and profane language, and yet other countries have been flabbergasted with how we were able to get away with something like this. The question I have for you is, do you think the rating systems board in MPAA should be changed? And if so, how would you rate a movie based on a child of your own that may or may not be appropriate for children to watch?
Yeah. I think this was a personal story. Like one of the people during my gap year, they came over from Holland, and they said like they have no rating system there. It was just like literally 2 ratings. There's one, it's like does it have sex? Does it have like full nudity in it? Like yes or no. And that's it. That's like all it is. And I think
Really?
It's like you don't need all this bullshit ratings. And this the Inside Out thing kind of reminded me of Happy Feet. Like it's rated PG for quote like mild peril or something. I'm like, I mean, for peril.
If you take
problem for a rating, it's just danger. Danger is an innate thing in life.
Yes, it is an innate thing in life. It's normal to show kids things like this. I mean, if you take a look like Airplane, that was a film that I think warranted the PG rating, if only because you see full frontal of a woman and her breasts. But that's just saying that's just saying, okay, well, that was the PG before it actually became the PG for kids. Mm-hmm. So in my opinion, I do think that it's inconsistent. A film like Coraline, I think, warrants the PG rating because it's very dark. I do think it deserves to be a PG
that's
rating.
The difference. I think that's what should be the difference, rather than just peril. Like if it's actually something dark, like not necessarily being accused of it's satanic, blah blah blah. If it's like either if they get trapped in like I don't know some other world, then that they'll die. But like I don't know. There's dark, and then there's Happy Feet, which is not dark. It's just
right
peril.
Right.
He just gets he just gets up. He washes up on some beach and then gets put in the zoo. Yeah, peril.
Which, by the way, the same director who directed Happy Feet directed Mad Max Fury Road, and I'd much rather watch that anyway. But anyway,
Yeah.
That is peril for you. Mad Max is fucking peril.
Oh, it is, and it's a very good film. But anyway, the question I have for you guys is, let's just say for a scenario, I'm not saying this would actually happen for real life. Say your child wanted to watch a film that, you know, was a very, very hard R, like say, Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
What would you say to them, and when would you say that they could watch it?
I would personally say, because my dad, I think he like, that was the first time I saw it, was when he wanted to show me it when I was like, I want to say I was 16 or 17 at the time. Actually, I don't know for sure, but it was kind of like, you know, it's about time you saw this kind of thing. I'm like, yeah, because it's a classic you have to see, and it's regardless of the, you know, the swearing and any nudity that's in it. He did give me a warning about the one scene in the store thing, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I understand. So I think it's like also the point D. Snyder made. You know, it's, I take care of my family, you take care of yours. Get out, you know, you don't need to be in my business, I don't need to be in yours. You know, because people, aside from any enforcement, which only is true on, I believe, rated M games and rated R movies, which isn't really enforced in movies because, you know, they in my experience, they didn't check for your age or your ID or anything. Yeah. But
like you want to know.
Yeah, aside from legal enforcement, you know, it really, the ratings are very misleading.
Yes.
I do agree with that. You want to know something funny? There's a film called Love is Strange. It's about a gay couple, and you know, one of the biggest things that I remember seeing. I never saw the film, but that film was rated R, and they found it offensive because two men were getting married. They had and were in bed with their clothes on, and I'm like, and yet there's PG-13 films with women and men shirtless, you know, inclined to be naked, and how does that make any sense?
Makes me want to jump out a window.
No, but Naka, what do you think about an R-rated film showing? When would you show an R-rated film to your kid?
It would really,
if you had one, that is.
Yeah, fuck children. No, in all seriousness, it would depend on like what was going on at the time. It really just all depends on the scenario, what was going on, and like what the age. Like, say if I wanted to watch, you know, if I wanted my kid to watch like Ted or Ted 2 or something, just because like, oh hey, I want to watch Ted 2. It's like, okay, well, when you're 15, once you've learned about some of this stuff, then we can watch the movie and you'll understand it more, and you'll be less inclined to go around blabbing about it at school.
Okay, when would you show them Pulp Fiction?
Pulp Fiction, probably around 16 or 17.
Okay, sounds good. I mean, I saw Pulp Fiction the very first time when I was 21 because I had a very, very, I want to say I wasn't allowed to watch rated R films until I was like out of my house, but you know what? I can, and it finally feels good to, you know, actually see parts of life, but it's okay. Personally, I think the rating, like, if we had I think the MPAA should really be changed. And I don't know about you guys, but do you think the MPAA should be changed? What do you think, Krüz?
ESRB.
Yeah, there was one thing I forgot to mention, that some films had the NR not rated thing, and that's also misleading because my mom assumed that meant R, or that it was worse than R, and I tried to explain to her, no, that was in fact what NC-17 was for. NR simply means not rated. It has not received a rating, because most of those were like, you know, extended, or like the original movies, both like extended scenes, or, you know, I think one was like the extended version of Talladega Nights, which, you know, I saw, and which was pretty funny, but, you know, that doesn't deserve it. I also think it's not important to see a film. It's not to just see a film because it's R, but because, you know, it would have some significance either from having, the R more inappropriate jokes, or for, more hard hitting or real life scenarios.
Right. Like
that's the important part.
One documentary that I would highly recommend you guys watch. I really want to watch this documentary with you guys. It's called This Film Is Not Yet Rated. And you would be surprised how much, we were able to get away with back then, what we wouldn't be able to get away with right now, and how much, some people don't know how to grow a thick skin. So,
yeah.
But anyway, that is all I have to say regarding the MPAA, and that is it for our show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Do we have any letters, Naka?
Oop, let me check for letters. One thing I do want to mention about the MPAA is that, like, over time, like when Jaws was first out, I believe it was PG.
Yeah,
and then
I remember that. It was originally PG because the rating meant a different thing at that time.
Yes. But now, because we have Christian conservatives who don't agree with people being eaten by sharks,
and yuppie middle class liberal soccer moms, and all this bullshit. I mean, it's like, it's just these sensitive people in general, because
2016.
Only here's saying only music.
By the way, no letters.
Music has been the only part that is like successfully thwarted this thing, because any discrimination from the music comes from the reactions to it, like Slayer, especially with Guilty of Being White. Their cover of that was, they said guilty of being right at the end.
The same thing goes with rating PG films that should be a G. Oh, we can't rate this film G because then the kids will think the movie will be crap. It doesn't make sense.
When they realize the stigma backfired and they're trying to correct it.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, but I understand that we don't have letters, but one of the commentators reminded you all, if you have anything that you want to say, please go to our email address, and we will read your letters at subwooferentertainment@gmail.com. We would love to encourage you guys. And that is our show for tonight, folks. My name is Scarfy.
I'm Naka.
And I am Krüz.
And we will see you guys on October 30th with our special guest Shutter. He is in our chat right now. We will see you, Shutter. We hope that you have a very, very wonderful, wonderful time. Have yourselves a fantastic evening and take care.
Bye.
Yeah.